Right. Tonight's the night. We finally potentially close out on the Back to Basics series. These for Talisman, as well, technically, you know, there are expansions past it as Harbinger. Or the Back to Basics series will not continue past the Harbinger into Cataclysm. Instead, I might do another series later for Cataclysm plus the 3 digital expansions. I don't know how long it'll actually end up taking. From what I understand, the Harbinger can actually run pretty fast because right, we've got 4 different omen set. It's Armageddon, and I saw the gates of heaven open and before me, and a being of righteous light descending to him. We're granted the 7 seals of divine judgment and the scales of cosmic balance. He raised the scales, and I saw that evil will weigh heavily upon them, and I knew that the time of judgment was at hand. Rise of the dead. I see darkness, death is all around me. I see the light of life extinguished one flickering flame at a time. And I see the gates of oblivion open and release the tormented souls of the damned. And the living will surrender unto death, and only the dead will rule. The shattered world. There's a legend among the tribes of the highland in which the world is a glacier moving slowly down the mountain of time towards the ocean of rebirth. At first the world was cold and rigid, but as it descended it became fluid and quick, and life was exciting and wonderful. But like all glaciers, there will be a time when it will grow too warm. The surface ice will crack, and great fissures will split the world into many pieces. It is said that some fragments will survive, floating in an endless sea for all eternity. And the stars align. In the 4th Earth Age, the silver star shall align with the... in the 4th Earth Age, the silver star shall align with the constellation of the crown and the scepter. Magic will surge like a flood, and even the simplest creature will be able to wield its power. 2. The silver star will devour the constellation of the crown and scepter. As the stars extinguish, so too shall magic fade from the world. 3. Without magic the world will wither and die. Every animal, every planet, every man and woman, so shall end the 4th Age. Honestly, the shattered world sounds most like it leads into Cataclysm, so let's go with that one. Alright, so we've got the Wizard, the Highlander, and a new character in the form of the Ancient Divine. You begin the game with 4 spells face down on your character card. These spells are divine gifts. Divine gifts do not count as spells for the purpose of other effects and do not count against your spell limit. Whenever you gain new strength or craft, you have 4 or fewer divine gifts on your character card. Take the top card of the spell deck and add it to the divine gifts on your character card. Once per round, you may cast one of your divine gifts as if it were a spell, although it does not count as a spell for the purpose of other effects. It does not count against the maximum number of spells you may cast during a turn. At the start of your turn, you may discard one of your divine gifts to draw 1 spell. I mean, the Wizard worked well last time, so let's go with them to start with. We've got Vindication, which can kill a character if they roll 1. And Destroy Magic, cast at the start or end of your turn. No character, including yourself, may cast a spell or use any magic object until the start of your next turn. Two light fate and one dark fate. So we've got prophecies, the omen deck. So starting from the prophecy and progressing through the 7 omens. Which, once the 7th omen arrives, the game just ends with everybody losing. And I believe it's when you land on this. Because I read some about this expansion, just have some idea going in, especially if for any reason in the tutorial decides to not show up. And I believe that he even said that when you land on the Harbinger's space, you do the next omen, or something like that. So, I mean, all it takes is people to land on the Harbinger's space a few times. Like, it looks like the Harbinger also does not start out on the board. If he shows up, I think he shows up when somebody draws an event. It's actually possible to go a little while without even seeing the Harbinger. Despite him being the namesake of the expansion. Well, I just give the Gladiator a nice head start. You know what? Reroll that. Boom. It's a 2 now. Now instead, you're back to, instead you're down to 4 life along with everybody else. You got the Battle Royale ending card. All characters that do not have a Talisman except for the character who first entered the Crown of Command lose the game. All characters that have a Talisman are immediately placed on the Crown of Command. Character who entered the Crown of Command must choose a character. Character who first entered the Crown of Command must choose a character to attack. The winner of the attack must force the loser to lose a life. They cannot choose to take an object or gold. Instead, the winner of the attack then chooses any other character to attack. The loser cannot be chosen unless they are the only other character remaining. And if the attack is a standoff, the same characters fight again. Characters must continue attacking each other in this manner until only one character remains. The last character remaining wins the game. When a character attacks, they may choose to fight in battle or second combat. They may not choose when they are attacked by another character. That last bit certainly helps. Well, more craft inclined characters. Because that way you can build up your craft and not suffer once the Battle Royale starts. Oh, and here's the Harbinger. Just like I thought. He shows up when the first event is drawn. And so anybody that lands on that space progresses as the Shattered World Apocalypse. That's by 1. And as I'm pretty sure that, this is pretty much the main mechanic of this expansion, and it is just you know, if you land on the Harbinger's space, he's at the end of the world progresses towards the actual end. Currently, the end has not even started. I'll just flash my one Dark Fate. Need from before. Second time I've rolled a 1 in for my movement so far. You can send him after somebody else. The Ancient Oak. So I imagine having multiple expansion boards enabled will slow down the Harbinger. Because I know I saw a lot of like negative reviews. And it was like, oh, this makes it too hard. But like a lot of like if you can avoid the Harbinger, or I imagine that makes it a lot easier. The top of is guard lose 1 life and either 1 strength or 1 craft. You win in the game with the last omen is discarded instead of losing it. Oh, so it's sort of... Well, that's interesting. so there is incentive to move it to intentionally encounter the Harbinger. Because if you have that thing, then you can get a steady supply of life. Then you can basically turn that into, you can basically use that to turn the Harbinger to a very risky alternate win condition. Because, you know, it specifically states that you win instead of losing with everybody else. Also, once the last omen is discarded. The Servant of Heaven has come to aid you. You may either heal 2 lives or place 1 omen of your choice on the discard pile on top of the omen stack. If you choose to place an omen on top of the omen stack, the angel then descends to the discard pile. Interesting. Flail of Blood, weapon and cursed. You must roll 2 dice in battle and add them together to determine your attack roll. If you roll doubles, you are automatically defeated. Oh, I think when you're in the same region as the Harbinger, you draw from a new deck for the expansion. Let's see, go with Path of Folly. There's less a path and more a tumble. Roll down a hill, a leaky boat down a stream, a wrestling match with a blackberry thicket. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, subtract 1 from the result, roll to a minimum of 1. When you reach the meeting with Destiny space, gain a Destiny, then move to any space in the outer or middle region. Got Path of the Sea Elite. You see the flowing form of Queen Titania before you and feel her blessing hanging upon the path you have chosen, for good fortune follows in her wake. Star of Return, you may replenish one light fate. When you reach the meeting with Destiny's base, fight King Oberon in battle. He has a strength of 7 and adds 1 to his strength for each light fate that you have. If you defeat him, gain a destiny. Probably not that. Path of Respite. Cozy. Is that way people spell? Yeah. Oh. Huh. Oh, I guess that's like the European spelling. Name of Cozy. Cozy inns and friendly hosts frequent your journey, giving you plenty of time to rest and recover from your woes. You may miss your turn to heal up to 2 lives. When you reach the meeting with Destiny space, lose all your life but 1 and gain a destiny, then move to the tavern. Honestly, that sounds pretty good. Revelations. And the heavens open before you, revealing what is yet to come. Look at the top 4 cards of the Harbinger deck and place them on top of any adventure deck in any order, then discard this card. The Harbinger is now on my space. Right, so we've got Herald of Death. Craft of 2. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3 on any die roll in psychic combat, now with the Herald of Death, lose 1 life, it will remain here until killed. Doomsday Prophet. Craft of 3. Beware the liars and the false prophets when you defeat this enemy. You roll 1 die on a 1 or 2. You discard the top omen, and she will remain here until killed. Roll the Demon of Sloth. While you have crafted 2, while you have this card as a trophy, you roll 1 for movement, your turn immediately ends. The stars align. Saints are seen in the heavens, and wise men and women herald the stars, searching for answers. Roll 1 die on the Harbinger chart, and then discard this card. Wait. I'm not sure if I was supposed to select the order then. Nope. Wait. I'll put Doomsday Prophet, Herald of Death, Demon of Sloth. Put Stars Align at the top. Although, actually, I guess the Harbinger, yeah. On a 1, then discard the top omen. Then on a 2, draw 3 Harbinger cards and add them to your space. Then encounter your space. 3, place 1 Harbinger card on top of each adventure deck. 4, each character gains 1 fate. 5, you may take another turn after this one. 6, choose 1 omen in the discard pile and place it on top of the omen stack. Okay, so it's not just an automatic progression when you encounter the Harbinger. It's if you roll a 1 after encountering the Harbinger, then you progress. That's the end of the world. Now the next person to draw a card from the just regular adventure deck is going to not only have the Harbinger move to their space, but they'll have to roll on his chart as well. Oh, and oh wait, that's not. It's not the adventure deck. That's a harbinger deck. So it's possible that even though he didn't roll a 1 on the harbinger chart, we could end up with. Yep. That's actually good for him because I'm pretty sure he's the one. Yeah, he's the one with the Apocrypha. Each character must place a random terrain card on their space. Well, that's certainly interesting. Oh, and the Heretic Angel can also progress. That is the end. Renegade from Heaven seeks to meddle with fate. Roll 1 die. Discard 1, discard the top omen. 2, lose 1 life or 1 fate. 3, become evil. 4, become good. 5, gain 1 fate. Gain 1 life and 1 fate. 6, place the top omen on the end of the discard pile on top of the omen stack and discard this card. Yeah, I think honestly the AI might have been, you know, making an actual clever move when it re-rolled down the Harbinger chart. You know, the AI might actually be smart enough to know, hey, if I've got the Apocrypha, I should be trying to speed up the end as much as possible. There's no way I can re-roll that into something that doesn't beat me, so. But hey, now we're back to the drawing from the woodland deck. Making this region at least until somebody he encounters another event. In which case the Harbinger will be back. Fortunately, no events were drawn on the Ancient Oak's turn. So the Harbinger isn't returning to the forest yet. Now things are a bit different. So we have a second graveyard. There's just sort of what appears to be a desert. Yeah, a barrens and some woodlands and in the city. More desert here. And a hill just sort of appeared underneath me. Right. I'll gain 1 fate. I'll gain 1 light fate. Plus 1 fate, roll 1 die. Gonna reroll that. And I lost 1 life, but I at least got to keep my 1 dark fate. You might want to see about getting that book away from the monk. So otherwise, right. You know, I can turn that into a standoff for a win. And so I'll just, like, you know, if the monk can just keep moving things forward towards the apocalypse, then he can win in like 6 turns. Like, it'll take him a minimum of 6 turns if he doesn't find some way of discarding multiple omens on ends in 1 turn. Like, you know, if I could just take the Apocrypha from him, I could win via the you know, accelerating the apocalypse, which, you know, I can just skip a turn to regain 2 life. So if as long as I'm in the woodlands, so could be an option. If you do not defeat the Horseman of Death, each character without a talisman must lose 1 life. Well, I think that might just be within the same region. Nope, each character without a talisman must lose 1 life. Character serve for their turn. That doesn't work on the monk at all, because he can just add to his die when praying. Just gonna head further into the woods. Plague of Locusts. Locusts swarm the land and consuming all they find. All characters must roll 1 die. Each character with the lowest result must discard 1 object or 1 follower. Then place a Baron's terrain card on the space used of one of the characters with the lowest result. Well, the Locusts then swarm off to the discard pile. And now the Harbinger is on my space. Well, I certainly didn't get the lowest result unless everybody rolls a 6. I mean, the Gladiator just did. But there's 4 others. You know what? Reroll that. Boom. The monk. The monk is now guaranteed to have the lowest result because he got a 0. Unless it's possible. Unless, like, whatever effect is giving him a -1 puts a... Oh, okay. It's a 1. Because he's got the Path of Folly. Mary roll 1 or more dice. subtract 1 from the result to a minimum of 1, so it's possible somebody could tie with them, but so it looks like there goes the Apocrypha. And also the cleric's armor. Not sure. Is it? Go on. Oh, do I have to? Do I have to do both? Oh. Apparently. Huh. I guess maybe there's only one barren space or something? For some reason it required me to move it from the city to the cleric's space. It just says then place a Baron's terrain card. So I don't know what happened there. I guess maybe in the print edition they only have one Baron space, and so they wanted to accurately. They wanted to keep it accurate to the print edition. Witch Cat. Start of your turn, you replenish 1 fate. If you roll, you pay any fate to reroll a die, and the roll is 1. You're turned into a slimy little toad for 3 turns. You also had Rise of the Dead. Cursed ground will no longer hold the dead. Place a Necropolis terrain card on the graveyard space. Then each character must place one of their trophies on the Necropolis. Then discard this card. Oh. And because... So basically... Like that only had an effect because there's a graveyard... Because another space got turned into the graveyard. Because so the graveyard that starts out on the board got turned into a desert. Looks like somebody's drawing 3 Harbinger cards. Oh, actually no, because it's on -1. Cracks appear. When a character rolls a 1 for their move, they place 1 random terrain card on their space. They must then stay on that space and encounter it instead of moving normally. We also got event Hell on Earth. Description of Hell has spread throughout the land. All characters roll 1 die. Each character with the lowest result becomes evil. Then place a Hell Pit as terrain card on the space of the base of one of the characters with the lowest result. The influence of Hell then descends to the discard pile. I mean, I'm already evil, so... I think I might have tied for lowest result. Looks like it might be a 3-way tie. There's multiple threes. Yep. Cleric and the monk are now evil. When there's a Herald of Death. Just barely, he got defeated. Right, so now, anytime anybody rolls a 1, then they basically encounter a random terrain card instead of moving. Gonna head further into the woods. Sword of Destiny, weapon. No character without a destiny. He may have the Sword of Destiny. Roll and 3 to your attack roll in battle or psychic combat. Nobody has a destiny yet, so just gonna have to sit there until somebody comes and picks it up after actually managing to get the requirements to do so. And already Gladiator has turned part of the city into a chasm as a result of rolling a 1. And Stinker fell in. The dervish is getting attacked by the werewolf. I mean, rolling a 1 on your move is definitely interesting right now, since it's always for one thing, you stay on your space and effectively get a new space. These then must encounter, and you get to move the werewolf and the reaper. Oh, the knocker's ability didn't actually find anything on the deck. Okay, it's the top card was an event. Well, there goes the Ancient Oak, I guess. And here's another Doomsday Prophet. Which means another chance at Doomsday Prophet is pretty easy to beat. You just run the risk of, you know, progressing to the next Omen. And then when you do, oh, I think I'll pass on going there. The Thieving Piskies. Craft 3. If you defeat this enemy instead of taking it as a trophy, move it to a space needs containing a character. That character must ditch one of their objects. Probably just take it as a trophy. If I can actually beat it. And apparently, yeah, I can't. So just... I was lost. Next turn will probably just let us heal. Oh no, the Harbinger's in the city. I mean, the clerk is now in prison. I don't know why it seemed to show the monk as being able to move after he rolled a 1. Maybe it just hadn't registered the effects of the Omen yet, because he hadn't committed to the 1. Clerk is now in prison. With only a 33% chance of escaping in each turn. And she's also there with a Varthrax scale, so every turn she fails to escape, she also has to encounter the scale at least as long as Varthrax is a Dragon King, which means perhaps we have a new Dragon Prison gang. Which could just make, you know, throwing people into the jail space an easy way of killing off other players. You know, just throw them in and make them have to encounter a whole bunch of dragons for a few turns. Or at least potentially for a few turns. It could manage to escape right away, especially if they have gold. And then there's an earthquake, which draws the attention of the Harbinger. Alright, because of the necropolis, well, the Doomsday the Doomsday Prophets is back. Oh, the clerk has escaped. So she was actually able to get out with an item from that Vorthrex scale. I have no objects to discard and no drinking scale, so I'm just gonna head on over to this thicket, find Titania's wand. The wand is enchanted with a single spell. Draw a spell and put it face up on this card. If you're light bound, once per round you may spend one light fate to cast a spell on this object. After it is discarded, and draw a new one and place it on this card. If you are dark bound, you ditch this card. And the breeze self, gracefully riding on the lightest breeze as fate. He will remain here until defeated. Light bound, gain one light fate. Dark bound, lose one dark fate. I am unbound currently as I have no fate. And I also just got defeated by the breeze self. It's because I'm not getting that wand. Not like I could have done much with it anyway. Since I currently have no light fate in it whatsoever. I'm also on the brink of death, so I better spend my next turn healing up. Yeah, it's probably a wise choice. Don't want to be thrown into jail with dragons again. Just gonna miss that turn to gain 2 no lives again. Armor of Humility. It's a cursed armor. If you're defeated in battle and just lost a life, you may roll one die. If you roll a 3, 4, or 5, or 6, the armor protected you. You did not lose that life, but you still lost the battle. Whenever you win a battle, I'll lose one life unless you pay one fate. That sucks for Gladiator. Which I mean, it kind of sucks in general, unless you have a good supply of fate. Which is, you know, why it's cursed. So we sort of dance around this one particular space. Herald of Disease. You'll be 1, 2, or 3 times. May on any time while in second combat with the Herald of Disease, lose 1 in the strength of craft. It will remain here until it is killed. But there's also another card on that space. Ancient Calendar, Cursed. Whenever you draw an event, you may move the Harbinger to any space maze with a character instead of moving the Harbinger normally. Whenever the top element is discarded, you must miss 1 turn. Oh, Black Market's a place. It costs 1 gold, that's why 1, the Harbinger didn't go there, and 2, the cleric didn't utilize it. Let's go to the Blasted Heath. Draw 1 card. Oh, Dragon with a strength of 5. Touched by the magic of the Fate. Hey, the Weird Dragon is as wild as it is dangerous. You defeat the Weird Dragon. If you're Darkbound, gain 1 Fate. If you're a Lightbound, gain 1 spell. All of your craft allows. Well, this isn't gonna go great for me. Yep. At most it could have rolled a 1 and then made that standoff. Wait, why did the dervish lose 1 life? Cursed, your life value is increased by 2 for each character in the game. Whenever another character loses this life, you lose 1 life. Whenever another character gains or heals life, you may heal 1 life. Oh. So basically, I can steadily kill the dervish just by getting hurt. Granted, every time I spend a turn to heal, the dervish also heals. Fourth sign. The moon and the sun shall be blotted out, extinguishing magic across the land. Each character discards all their spells and then discard the top omen along with this card. So now we're on to the earthquakes. The strain of an ever-changing landscape causes a cataclysmic earthquake that it spreads has death and destruction then through every region. When revealed, discard all face-up adventure cards in all regions. If a character is on a space with a face-up adventure card, they lose 1 life for each card in their space discarded this way. While it's active, many omens have an ongoing effect while they near the current omen. This omen does not. Okay, so... Ooh, this isn't gonna be great for the dervish. Because he's gonna lose 1 life for every character that happened to be on a space with a face-up adventure card. Yeah, the dervish isn't. The dervish just died from other people getting hurt. Hey, now that like Avatar of Death or whatever is in that corner, is gone. Oh no, everybody's having to draw cards from the Harbinger deck in this region. And I just had to give somebody my temporal warp. Oh, but wait. I believe... Wait, no, I gave it to the cleric, I think. Oh, guess I have to die. Well, I think the gladiator also just died, possibly. Yeah. I mean, the gladiators actually I gained 1 life, but I was already dead. So it's showing 1 life, but it didn't actually help me any. Because it was too late to save me. Guess I'm gonna get a new character on my next turn. We're already like halfway. Need to move the end of the world. It's only been just over an hour. I gotta wait for all these people to finish playing the lottery before I can get my new character. Hey, the Valkyrie man should win the lottery while in prison, so she can spend some of her winnings on bribing the guards to let her out. Right, so we've got Swashbuckler, the Minstrel, and the Druid. I think I'll go with the Swashbuckler, because he gets to take extra turns. Or he wins battles. Just gonna head on over here. I'm not gonna encounter that Yeah, I'll encounter the scale. Oh, it's a Dragon Spire. Well, that could be interesting with the ending. Name card. All characters that do not have a talisman, except for the character who first entered the Crown of Command, lose the game. Technically, it leaves it open for the possibility that somebody could get to the Crown of Command without a talisman. Which, I mean, it's from the Highlands, so there was already one way of doing that in the game by the time that expansion was released. So, yeah, interesting. Interesting that it says, except for the first character. So basically, if you can get there without, if you can get to the Crown of Command without a talisman, or before anybody else gets a talisman, then you just win by default. And in fact, if nobody else has a talisman, and you're the first to enter the Crown of Command, and nobody else, like, you just win by default regardless of whether you have a talisman or not. So that's certainly an interesting possibility. Need to get higher stats, I think. Be able to actually go for it. Thanks. Don't check. Roll one die. Hey, you may add 1 to the score for each dragon scale in this region and for each dragon scale you have. So actually, I would be best served just wandering around the outer region, picking up dragon scales where I can. If I want to go for that, because I can just get dragon scale, because need to be able to add at least like plus 18 to that roll. Plus 16. Because it's 22 plus this, I think. So between the dragon scales in the region and dragon scales in my possession, I would need 16. Gates of Hell have been flung open, releasing many horrors into the world. Draw 3 Harbinger cards and add them to the space, then discard this card. Let's see. Falling stars. Stars rain down from the heavens. All characters roll 1 die. Each character with the lowest result must lose 1 life, then place a crater card out on the space. One of the characters with the lowest result, the stars can fade away into the discard pile. Gonna reroll that, and I got a 3 anyway. Just gotta hope. Nope. you know, other characters get lower results. And the monk already did. And the elf also got a 2. Oh, actually, he rerolled it into a 1. So he's definitely the one get hit with a star. And Bone Giant. If you defeat the Bone Giant, roll 1 die. If you roll 4, 5, or 6, the attack counts as a standoff instead. Sure, I'll have this red dragon sleep. Right. So let's see. No dragon scales here. Guess we'll go to the desert. The desert that used to be the graveyard. Possessed cultist. Strength of 3. The cultist is possessed by a great evil. He adds 1 hunter's attack roll for each omen card in the discard pile. He will now remain here until killed. So, yeah, it's +3, which is effectively a 6. Well, 5. And, of course, he rolled a 6. But wait. Oh. I can't reroll his roll with Dark Fate. I can only reroll my... I can only have other people reroll my own with Dark Fate. At least there probably won't be like another earthquake, so no, the Dragon Sparrow should be fairly safe. Or at least I think it is. Because I'm also not seeing it anywhere. Or maybe it's just... Guess I missed something somewhere. So the Dragon Sparrow appears to be gone. Along with all the other cards that were in this region. Although I could also go for the dungeon route. I'm just trying to get to the Crown of Command earlier than everybody else. Can get a talisman in that way. It's like there's nobody that currently has a talisman. So if I can just get to the Crown of Command, then I just win by default. No, and the cleric just cast time warp, so I'll be sitting back and watching any AI turns play out for a little while. Oh boy, another stars align. Which means another chance for Does that add another card? Or from the Harbinger deck? Add to the space? Guess not. Maybe there's a limit or something. Oh, look! The same effect from the previous one is back. Like in the World Eater box. You roll 1 for a move, place 1 random terrain card in your space. You must then stay on your space and encounter it instead of moving normally. And the cleric is dead. I think I might go into the Woodlands first, so I can hopefully gain a Destiny. Right. Jin Sultan. This powerful Jin will grant you a wish before vanishing to the discard pile. You pick 1, gain 4 gold, kill 1 face-up enemy and take as a trophy, gain a full complement of spells, heal all your lives, replenish all your fate, or take 1 object, follower, or random spell from another character. I think I'll take a follower from another character and just take this unicorn. Get armor and a simmer feather. Only gifted to those who aid the simmer in some final task. The feather makes someone who holds it immune to all but the hottest flames. All of your cards gain fireproof. So I've got armor, a unicorn, and the feather that makes all of my stuff fireproof. The gold didn't even stand a chance in that one. Because he only got a total of 6 against an enemy with 7 craft. You have this card as a trophy. Spirits and undead in battle or sacred combat. Now with you add 1 to another attack roll. Just got strength of 1. I want to just defeat that Naiad as well. And now he's being attacked by a centaur. and I'm carrying the werewolf. Sure, I'll become a lycanthrope. Wow. You know what, I'll send him after the ghoul. You know what, no. If I don't get to become a lycanthrope, you don't get to either. Valkyrie spent a bunch of money on scrolls. Which means now I have to sit through her using each individual one. Well, she only used 2. But, you know, because she can only have 2 spells. Oh, now we've got a new spell of Dark Binding. Of just you choose in which direction that character moves, it may end their movement at any time no longer move. So it's a bit different from Misdirection, where you just choose which direction they move in. And she immediately sent the druid right into a Drikolich. I went to go into the woods, but I think I'll pass on landing on a space that just causes me to lose 1 life. Chaos Rift. The world shifts and tears. All characters roll 1 die. Each character with the lowest result must place 1 random terrain card on their space, then discard this card. Which I believe there was a card earlier that you put like 1, maybe a few Harbinger cards on each adventure deck. And this is the first time anybody's drawn from the dungeon deck this entire game. So I got 5. Got a high chance of not being the one to turn my space into something else. Exit words, the ghoul. Yep, unless the druid rolls a 1 or 2 or 3, then it's definitely the ghoul. Wait. It was apparently the elf. I guess the elf rolled a 1 or 2 or something I just didn't notice. Oh, and there's the elfin bow. Too bad the bounty hunter isn't around. And the ghoul died pretty much immediately. Now it looks like the monk is about to get a destiny. I might just head back out of the dungeon. Especially well, I mean, the Harbinger isn't gonna be here anymore, so I probably could just grind in here for a while. The Harbinger has gone off elsewhere. Nobody's actually directly encountered him so far. It's always been, oh, this event makes you roll on the Harbinger or charge. I mean, now the woodland ends where you draw from the Harbinger deck. Which means unless I draw an event card somewhere in here, the dungeon should be Harbinger free. Angular speed. Whenever you roll one die for your move, you may reroll the die. If you roll a 6 for your move, you may discard the angular speed and teleport to any other space in the same region. That seems good. For what I'm trying to do. Because I can just bounce right over to the Lord of Darkness. Anytime I roll a 6. Granted, I can only do it once. Oh, and Gates of Hell once again. And a rift. Cards, the Gem Blooded. It's gonna have to. The elf rolled a 1. So unless the druid rolls a 1, it's gonna be the elf. Yep. The elf being affected by the rift again, which had replaced. He's replace the barons into the field. So now that space is no longer just lose 1 life. So you draw a card on it. Interesting choice. Guess maybe the monk didn't feel ready to. Oh, that could be it. Like maybe he just didn't feel ready to fight Queen Mab just yet. And I was like just waiting through, and it turns gust of wind. Oh yeah, the Valkyrie also bought a magic ring apparently. Oh, and here's some martial artists. It's time for anybody with a lot of dragon scales to start just exploding. Again, I don't think anybody has much enough dragon scales else currently. But yeah, only the monk has any dragon scales whatsoever. He's got one Grillipus scale. Right. Let's see. There's Harbinger right now. Harbinger is in the outer region. So I'm just gonna stay in the dungeon now for the time being. Really could have done without that. Well, now it's mostly just gonna be a roll off. And I'm pretty sure I already lost. Yep. Because I got a 1. And I have no fate to reroll with. Another one of the same event. Seems like the Harbinger deck is kind of limited on possibilities or something. Ooh, this one, you must discard one of your trophies if you lose. I don't think the Genbla has even gotten a chance to get a trophy. This is again. Clockwise selling yourself, all characters take one dragon scale from your current lord of their choice and place it on another space following the normal rules until all dragon scales on each Draconic Lord hit Or it's been in place on the board, then discard this card. Guess there's a Cador scale in the dungeon now. There's a Jinblade has put the Valkyrie to sleep. Need for a turn, so things will progress just a little bit faster. Alright. Tunnel. I'll go to the tunnel. Just draw one card. And it's a Servant of Darkness. Which I'm at the advantage. I have the advantage, but I also rolled a 1. It's just barely a standoff. Okay, that means that Swashbuckler shall live another turn. Like it's now encountering a mystery again. Ooh. Both are 4s, so it would be a standoff if both had the same value, but if you don't, the monk just loses by default. Oh, and another Chaos Rift. Well, the elf is just a chaos magnet, I guess. Because unless somebody rolls a 1 or 2, this will be the 3rd time. Oh, the druid rolled a 1. Which means that the elf will not be affected by any of the Chaos Rift this time. Name it instead. The druid's space became hills. Which actually I think it might have already been hills. And now he's encountering the Reaper. And missing his next turn. And as a result, he misses his turn. I think I'll go to this corridor. Played a cave troll with a strength of 6. At At least I didn't roll a 1 this time. I'm still gonna die, but I didn't roll a 1. And there goes the swashbuckler. Turns out, gotta wait through 5 AI turns, and then I'll get a new character, Nephilim. When you defeat the Nephilim, choose another character to gain one strength and 1 craft. The Nephilim will remain here until killed. Well, it's not happening yet. Yeah, because the Nephilim just won. Now the monk is gonna miss his next turn. Hey, it's only 4 AI turns. I think that because I was in the dungeon, I was, completely isolated from most things concerning the new expansion. Well, the newly added expansion. Because there's some people in the middle region that are having to draw these Harbinger cards. And Drew just has standoff with the swarm of flies. Let's see, you've got the Dragon Priestess, the Necromancer, and the Prophetess. This time around. You begin the game with 2 spells, and after you encounter cultists, you may take it as a follower instead of attacking it. For rolling the diamond praying, you may use all non-resumable followers to perform a ritual. Each follower using the ritual adds 1 to your score. Whenever you encounter a dragon, you may offer a sacrifice instead of attacking it. To do so, you will discard with your followers objects of spells and roll twice you separate, and then roll 2 dice separate. You have the same results as at the temple. If you are enslaved, you must miss your next turn instead. You are not affected by Dragon Rage. I'll go with the Dragon Priestess. Feral Hunger. Cast when the character is about to engage a creature in battle works like a combat. The creature automatically rolls 6 for its attack roll. If it is night, all creatures automatically roll 6 for the attack roll until the start of your next turn. Interesting. Name it Sacred Offering. Cast on yourself at the start of your turn. Discard one of your magic objects or followers to either heal all of your lives or replenish all of your fate. To get a fair amount of fate. Just gonna head into the woods. And a living doll. Cursed, you must take the doll and ditch all your other objects. You may have no other objects until you visit the alchemist in the city and discard this object to gain a gold. Gotta roll for these 2. Now the Jin blood is having to suffer dragon rage, and did not have any objects, so he lost one life. Altar of Wrath. This is the first time anybody's drawn from the Highlands deck, so this card has been sitting here for a good long time. When you visit the altar, you may lose one life to force another character to lose 2 lives. If you do, discard the top omen along with the Altar of Wrath. Interesting. So basically, you can spend 1 life to kill someone who's about half dead, but it also progresses as he omens towards the end of the world. Could be useful if I really want another character dead. Wait, did the Druid just intentionally take an Armor of Humility? Why? Why would you want that? I guess, I guess it has its uses because it does have a pretty good rate of saving you from losing life. If you lose a fight. Like for instance, say, need a fight against a Skeleton King. Who he has a 1 to his attack roll for each trophy point you have. I think I'm gonna reroll that. Just to keep moving around a bit faster. Burrow Worm. Strength of 4. A gruesome burrow worm erupts in this area. If you're defeated, in addition to losing 1 life, you fall into its burrow and land on the dungeon entrance. It will remain here until all is killed. Right. You think I just lost? Let's do it. Yep. I'm gonna reroll that. It's able to turn into standoff. Horseman of Disease. If you do not defeat the Horseman of Disease, each character without a talisman must lose 1 strength or craft. You'll remain here until killed. I mean, I don't think much of anyone has any actual points of strength or craft. Well, there goes a Gem Blooded. At least he's the Horseman of Disease doesn't, you know, cause anybody to lose any life other than the person who, anyone who loses to him, so. You know, for instance, I'm currently completely unaffected by that because I haven't been able to gain any points in means of strength or craft anyway. Oh, there goes the druid. Got a 6. I'll visit the Necropolis and draw 3 cards from the discard pile. And self-portrait, bag of gold, and treasure map. Oh, and here comes the assassin. With the control of the green AI. Maybe the assassin can be the one to take out the Horseman of Disease. So all I need to do is just get to 9 in strength, and you can just assassinate him and be done with it. Oh no. I'm being encountered by the werewolf. Hey, roll a 6. Except it got turned into a 1. Hey, I'll take a 1 too. So it just means I get +2 strength and things at night. And here's an earthquake. An earthquake shit knocks land. And roll 1 die for each face-up adventure card over in this region. On a 1, 2, or 3, the adventure card tumbles down to the discard pile. So that could also, deal with the, with a horseman then right there. The Essence Eater is gone. This is a Bone Giant. And the Horseman of Disease. The Altar of Envy sticks around. Which it looks like that has a similar effect to the Altar of Wrath over there. If there's a World Eater box. And the Dracolich. And Dragon Fury, because despite being an event, it sticks around on the board for some reason. I guess because it has an effect for multiple turns. Like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't even cancel its effect. There's a lot of stuff in this region to roll for. Some things I didn't even realize, were around here. So I'm able to pick the self-portrait? Oh, right. They're items, and I have a cursed doll with me, so... Of course I couldn't pick them up. Guess I better do something about that before I went into something really good. Unfortunately, I can't just sacrifice it to Mercador's Dragon Rage either, because... I guess it could. I guess it could use it as like a dragon offering or something. So I'll head on over to this Vorthrax scale. Ooh, Dragon Scale Shirt. You're not affected by a Dragon's Breath attack. If you are defeated in battle or psychic combat, you may discard one of your Dragon Scales. If you choose to do so, the attack is considered standoff instead. However, it's an item, so I can't pick it up yet. I have to do something about this. Oh. Rain of Toads. Toads fall from the sky carrying a terrible curse. All characters roll and die. Each character with the lowest result is turned into a slimy little toad for 3 turns. Then place a bog terrain card on the space of one of the characters with the lowest result. Well, this could be interesting. Especially if there's a tie. Okay. I did not get the lowest result. Except I did because somebody decided to reroll all my die. So not only did I get the lowest result, but I was the only one to get the lowest result. But hey, I'm free of the cursed doll, so that's something. Granted, now anybody that encounters that space is also going to encounter the cursed doll, as long as the contents of that space remain unchanged. When the earthquake is back, so maybe the doll will get discarded or something, hitting the earthquake. Nope. The doll is sticking around. The armor of humility is getting discarded, but not the doll. The demon of gluttony is also getting crushed. And the treasure trove. Not the self-portrait. You know, I'm just stuck being a toad for 3 turns. Somebody use Dark Fate to reroll my die into a 1. Here's. I guess I've still got my spells. Oh, now I'm getting a visit from the Reaper as well. Well, hey, at least I got 6. Or not. Or it could just get rerolled in, or another high roll could get rerolled into another 1. But hey, I'm pretty sure being a toad does not carry over to my next character. So, in a way, hey, whoever just did that helped me out. And now the Harbinger's in the Highlands because somebody found a hidden hidden chasm. I think I will be right back. When I return, I'll select my new character. I'm back. So this section of characters, we've got Gladiator. You get in the game with a helmet from the purchase deck. Whenever you use armor and roll a die to prevent the loss of life. You may add 1 to the score whenever you acquire a follower. They become trained to fight with you during battle. You may use all, none, or some of your followers to fight with you in any battle of your choice. Each follower used this way adds 1 to your strength during battle. If your character defeats you in battle, they may kill 1 of your followers that fought with you, in addition to their normal reward. If the Warlord, when you encounter a follower, you may immediately be conscripted. Take that follower as a conscripted follower, even if you normally could not take it. Ignore all the card text on your conscripted followers and instead treat them as if they said, add 1 to your strength during battle. If you defeat another character in battle, you may take 1 of their followers as a conscripted follower, in addition to the normal reward. When you would lose a life, you may discard 1 of your unscripted followers to prevent the loss of that life. The Minstrel. Animals and dragons will not attack you, although you may choose to attack them. If you do not attack an animal, well, you may attempt to charm it. If you do so, roll 1 die. If you roll higher than the animal's strength, it joins you as a follower and adds strength to yours in battle. You may only use 1 charmed animal per battle. You may take the maiden and princess from any character you land on. I think I'm gonna try the Warlord. His ability to take people's followers and conscript them. That's useful. Let's head into the woodland. So heading into a conspicuously unwooded area of the woodland. Got Path of the Determined. The path is long and full of terrors, but with dedication and perseverance, you know that the journey will be worth it in the end. Instead of your normal move, you only move 1 space. When you reach the Meeting with Destiny space, you gain a Destiny and a Talisman, then move to the Portal of Power. Okay. I'll take that. I'll count the space. Use it. Rizalka drowns her victims in swift-running rivers. During battle with the Rizalka, you're dark-bound, add 2 to your strength. If you're light-bound, subtract 2 from your strength. So because I am neither dark nor light-bound, there's no effect. I'm going to reroll and hope that's higher than... Yep, it's a 4. Which means that's high enough to be a win. Well, now I am dark-bound. So anything that affects specifically dark-bound characters is going to affect me specifically. Yeah, in that way. So no more not being affected by an effect because it doesn't have any effect on people that are fateless or unbound. Just gotta march forwards 1 space at a time. Now the Valkyrie is also in the woodlands. was also having to fight 18 craft worth of dragons. Just like immediately. You just gotta shit. Still no progress being made past it, towards the end of the world, past it. That's the point where you're at. With the luck fairy will remain here for the rest of the game. Roll 1 die. On a 1 you become a slimy toad. Over 3 turns. On a 2 you lose all of your fate. 3 you lose 1 fate. Well then. Guess I'm fateless now. You're probably gonna have to like bounce between these couple spaces for a while to grind before I can fight this big thing over here. This 8 strength. But when I manage to fight it, I'll just gain 1 strength right away from it. Oh, now the monk is here too. And the monk has decided to attack me. Not much I could do. Know about that. But hey, at least I didn't lose any life. Maybe from that. Now just gotta wait for the AI turns so I can start. You know, just like bouncing between a couple spaces. Because I want to stick close to the big guy. But like, I can't fight him yet. Because I'll probably just lose. Although I could... Yeah, I could just go there. Oh, it looks like somebody else has a talisman, so... Cursed Talisman. You may only enter the Valley of Fire if you have one of the fabled talismans. Add 3 to your result when rolling and hitting at the mines in the crypt. Well then, looks like... Looks like hey, there's not gonna be any me just winning by default hold upon reaching the crowd command anymore. At least as long as that guy's got a talisman. Firestorm. Discard all cards on every space in this region. Then discard this card. If Varthax is Dragon King, this event affects every region. And the Harbinger's here now because... So all the Face of Adventure cards just got discarded. Because the only reason I even encountered that event is because Varthax is the Dragon King right now. Otherwise, I would have just drawn a card or normally. But hey, now the path ahead is very clear. Like, extremely clear. Of course, now every space needs other scales. Those cause you to draw cards from the Harbinger deck, like rather than the Woodlands deck in this region. That could potentially be very bad, as you know, I'm gonna be drawing a lot of cards because as I'm moving one space per turn through this region. So, you know, until the Harbinger moves to a different region or something, which doesn't look like which I've also got a high chance of actually directly encountering the guy as well, because I am moving just one space at a time. So I'll be drawing, as long as he's in this region, I have a higher chance of encountering him, and in fact, as long as he's in front of me somewhere, I am guaranteed to encounter him if I don't turn back around before I do. And I have to encounter each and every draw card space in this region if I want to get my destiny. Well, I just lost one life, maybe from the Reaper, but it's just one life. Alright, Skeleton. Strength 1. Well, you have this card as a trophy. Spirits and Undead. And in battle or sacred combat, and with your add 1 to their attack roll. And Altar of Wrath. When you visit the altar, you may lose one life to force another character to lose 2 life. If you do, you discard the top omen card, the top omen along with the Altar of Wrath. Well, I might actually lose to the skeleton. Yep. I actually just straight up lost to the skeleton. Honestly, if the finale ends on everybody losing because the world ended, then they'll make Cataclysm make more sense. Because I mean, it kind of assumes that the Cataclysm happened. And that's implied to be what happens after the last his Omen card is discarded. Honestly, it would make things more interesting if this Earthquakes makes Omen card were to get discarded, because you know, it only had an effect when it was initially revealed. Like, currently we do not have any ongoing effects from the current Omen. There is no ongoing effect for the Earthquakes. Well, looks like I'm getting it. Nope. Said Reaper's visiting the Valkyrie, who may or may not end up sending him after me anyway. She just rolled a 5. Nope. Just sending him after the assassin, who then dies. Just straight up. At least the Highlander is free of the Harbinger, as Highlander has left that, as the Harbinger has left the Highlands. So he's currently in the Woodlands. Insane Elemental. Craft of 5. When you encounter the insane elemental, place one random terrain card on your space and remain here until it is killed. So now there's ruins here. And I'm about to lose this fight. So now I'm down to 1. So I should probably try and find a way to heal myself somewhere along among these next couple spaces. Like either this one or this one. Of course, I could just draw Dragon Rage on my turn and lose automatically. Well, die automatically, I mean. Which, I mean, if I wanted to, I can beat that skeleton. I can just like pay one. I can just sacrifice myself and take someone down with me. Somebody who's at 2 or lower. And also trigger the next Omen in the process. certainly an option, provided I can actually beat the skeleton. Path of Destiny. Cast on any character that does not have a quest at the start of their turn. So the Warlock now has a quest to deliver a weapon. Deliver a weapon to the Warlock. I could just step back one space, kill the skeleton, and just sort of take the Valkyrie down with me. Of course, I should also see what the witch tree does, because I can't remember off the top of my head. Or I could just die. I could just die from a dragon rage, from Grillipus. That's also a thing. And so now I have to wait through the AI's turns before I get a new character. So Harbinger is also no longer in the woodlands. Is instead in the middle region. So he's a warlock in the chivalric knight's problem now. The Valkyrie gets to move double, well, because she was able to revive maybe some horses. Right. So you've got a choice between the Philosopher, the Ogre Chieftain, and the Ancient Oak. You begin the game with one growth token on your character card, with either side face up. In order to turn on trophies, gain 1 point of strength or craft, you may put a growth token on your character instead. You cannot have more than 5 growth tokens on your character card. For each growth token on your character card increases your life value by 1. For each growth token with the red side face up, increases strength value by 1. For each growth token with the blue side face up, increase your craft value by 1. To start your turn, you may flip your growth tokens to any side you wish. When you end your turn in the woods or the forest, you may either heal on life or replenish on fate. You cannot use armor or weapons. Honestly, sounds pretty good. Just gonna I'll start with an additional 1 strength. I probably lost life from something. Just gonna head back into the woodlands, into the hills. See, ill-fated path, cannot gain or replenish fate. Clear path, the way is wide open and you make very good time on your travels. You get to roll twice. Use it. And when you reach the meeting with Destiny space, move to any space non the woodland or inner region, so you don't get a Destiny. Even that. Path of Glory. Vitality emanates from your body and fate guides your steps. No matter where you go, glory illuminates your path, and the multitudes marvel at your deeds. Whenever you win a battle, either heal 1 on life or replenish on fate. When you reach the meeting with Destiny space, you may discard 3 trophies to gain a Destiny. I think I'm gonna go with that. Let's see. Have skills this. Doris. I just don't have the stats to deal with potentially a dragon right now, so I'm just gonna deal with Urda or Brenner. It is at this well that the Norns spend the destiny of all things. If you're Darkbound, choose a character to lose 1 light fate and you gain 1 dark fate. The Lightbound, choose a character to lose 1 dark fate and you gain 1 light fate. You may spend either 5 light fate or 5 dark fate to gain a destiny. So that's another option for getting a destiny, to just go there. If you've got 5 fate of the same type. I think, oh, simple, I didn't lose life. I'm just below my life value because it went up. So for instance, if I get replenished up to my life value, then I'll be at 5. But when your life value goes up, you don't automatically gain any life. Oh wow, the monk just auto lost to Queen Mav. And as a result, lost the warrior's path. Horseman of Famen. If you do not defeat the Horseman of Famen, each character that has a Talisman must kill one of their followers. She will remain here until killed. Oh, there goes the horses. And that's it. Because nobody else had any followers currently. Fey Witch. But first, just gotta play this Shayful. She was able to beat that. But if the Fey Witch rolls doubles, then Valkyrie becomes a toad. Actually, oh. You can't reroll the Fey Witch's roll, you can only reroll that roll of the person fighting her, which I could have done that, but I realized that too late. I mean, should beat the Fey Witch with like a 3, so not terribly good chance of actually turning that into a loss or anything. Guess I'm traveling here. Verdant Altar. The altar will remain here for the rest of the game. Roll 2 dice and pray here. There with the same results as the temple. If you're enslaved, you must miss your next turn instead. If Berlippus is the Dragon King, you may add up to 3 to the score. Right. Currently, it's a 4, but I can get it to a 5, a 6, or a 7. I think I'll go for 6. Which gives me 1 strength. Wait. What happened? It's because we moved. Oh, I think. Oh, it's because when you end your turn in the woods or the forest, you may either heal 1 life or replenish 1 fate. So now I'm at my full life as well. Oh, and somebody actually directly encounter the Harbinger. Well then, we're back to cracks appear. So that means there's going to be another earthquake. You could just as soon as something causes the top of Omen to get discarded again. Black Squire. Cursed. Add 2 to your strength. To take an object, you must pay 1 fate. I mean, that's not too terrible. I've definitely seen worse curses. I think maybe Valkyrie might just be about to die. Especially since the Horseman of Haman has a +2 from the space she's on. Hey, the Black Squire goes away. And then as this Valkyrie, who just gained a destiny. That's literally where she moved after gaining her destiny. Was the same spot as a horseman and a Famine. Ooh, the Dragonfire Skull has returned. Now I'm suffering Dragon Rage. What's over here? Oh, the Insane Elemental. Not sure I'll go over there. We can encounter a scale, but I've also got 2 craft. And I believe it's a Grillipus scale on that space. Fairy Godmother. This kindly fairy will make sure her destiny is set before moving onto the discard pile. If you're lightbound, gain 1 handcraft and 1 light fate. If you're darkbound, gain 1 strength and 1 dark fate. Oh, and the train became Crags. It could roll 1. Nope, did not roll 1. It could have, but it didn't. Which means I'm not even encountering the Fairy Godmother. But hey, I can go heal once I'm away from this space. And the monk has returned to try again to get destiny, I guess. Since we're back to the cracks up here, Roman, each time somebody rolls a 1 on the movement, they stay there and put a random terrain card out on their space. And the Valkyrie has become the fortune teller. Now it looks like it's almost certainly going to be a part 2 to this. Or maybe not, because I mean things are happening as we just got back to the earthquake, which causes everybody who's on a space with a face of adventure card to lose life, but also destroys all the face of adventure cards. Right. And just move over to the glade and hope I don't die. Well, it rolled low, which means unless somebody rerolls my stuff with Dark Fate. Oh, but wait, it's not the right kind of woodland space. It has to specifically be woods or to be like specifically woods or forest, I think. Yeah, when you end your turn in the woods or the forest, like spaces like the glade are not good enough. They just are not foresty enough. I think that the omen lasted like one round, and now we're back to no ongoing omen effect because that's how the earthquakes works. I mean, once again, the option appears to me of just wait. Actually, no, because the Altar of Wrath got destroyed, even the earthquake. So, no, never mind. I can't even just sacrifice myself to bring somebody else down. And also progress us to the 4th omen. Which I have one of each kind of fate, so I can use that to try and get out of any sticky situations until I can at least get to somewhere where I can heal. Which I mean, there's a chapel right there, so I could go over there and heal. Well, I could heal a little there, because I'm neutral as opposed to good, so I do have to pay gold to heal at the chapel. And there goes the Dragonfire Skull. Got two options: Thicket or Crossroads. If the score is less than your combined strength and craft, move to the woods in any region. Otherwise, discard your path and then draw a new one from the top of the deck. Oh, I have to encounter a scale. Treasure hoard. Place 8. There's a total of 8 gold here. Once per visit, you may take 2 gold from the hoard. Then, when all 8 gold have been taken, the treasure hoard is exhausted to the discard pile. Well, hey, I got some gold, so I can just go over to the chapel and spend it all on getting patched up. Now, multiple cards from the adventure deck are being burned. And the Chivalric Knight losing a life. And ending on the card with the Fireland space, or Fireland token. Yeah, we are 8 minutes away from the 3-hour mark, so we're probably gonna end the stream fairly soon. And part 2 of this will most likely be next Tuesday, the 18th. It's like, I feel like we're not super close to an ending. Close enough that I can probably just, continue for another, like, hour and finish this. Alright, I'm able to get right to the chapel. Count space. Heal 3 lives. And now I'm no longer on the brink of death. Oh, the living doll has returned. As the Chivalric Knight encountered the necropolis. So now, Chivalric Knight can have no items other than the living doll, until I can get rid of it by some means. Oh, and here's the 7th sign. Which means we're on to the next. Oh, and the 5th sign. And the 1st sign. Maybe we are getting close to an ending, after all. As civilization has fallen. And growing chaos. Let's see what just happened. Let's see, the broken worlds, the cracks in reality expand, leaving the world a strange and broken place. Whenever a character lands on a space with a terrain card, they place a random terrain card in the closest space which does not have a terrain card. 2 cards are equally close that character chooses. But that just kind of got skipped over because, you know, multiple cards that cause you to discard the top omen card got drawn in a row. Bastions of civilization falls. Bastions of civilization cannot survive the escalating destruction. Place a random terrain card on the tavern, the village, the graveyard, the chapel, the city, the temple, and the castle. And now we're on Growing Chaos, the 6th omen. And the strange new lands begin to tremble and crack. Few places are safe in this world. If a character ends their turn on a space with a terrain card, they lose 1 life. Ooh, that makes this whole region rather dangerous. There is, for instance, this just like row of terrain cards. Which I mean, yeah, we're also 2 signs away from the apocalypse. So maybe we will end it tonight. You know? Maybe it'll just end with you know, the world breaking apart. Sure, I'll become a lycanthrope. Before we got 5 strength. I'll definitely appreciate 2 more. Or at night. Wait, where is the Harbinger right now? He is... I'm actually not seeing him right now. That doesn't actually show me where he is. Yeah, I don't see him anywhere. I'm sure as soon as somebody, I mean, he'll be wherever somebody draws an event. Like right here. Fairy Feast. All mortals have been invited to attend a feast hosted by King Oberon and Queen Titania. Each Lightbound character gains 1 spell if their craft allows. Each Darkbound character gains on life. Each Unbound character gains on life. Each Fateless character loses one life. The festivities and die down and replace it with the discard pile. So I lose one life. The Chivalric Knight also loses one life. The Monk who straight up dies. Yeah, pretty much everybody lost life there. Okay, so it's still Woodlands cards from that. I guess because it specifies Woodlands cards. Big Bad Wolf. And I lost that fight. Because unfortunately it's day, so I didn't get my +2 from being a lycanthrope. But now, other than effects that specify Woodlands cards, everybody in the Woodlands and draws from the Harbinger deck when they draw cards. And one of the things in the Harbinger's deck is signs, which, you know, only need 2 more, and that'll be it. It's also kind of, oh, well, the Harbinger has gone off to the outer region instead. It's gonna be kind of hard to do much of anything at this point, because until we move on to, like, actually in some ways it could be beneficial to end this omen, just so that people aren't constantly getting hurt by being on most spaces at this point. At least in the Woodlands. Like, honestly, the most safe area is the Highlands right now, because it has been completely untouched, more or less. Like, no terrain cards are in the Highlands. Of course, in order to get there, you have to pass through a multitude of terrain cards, including multiple deserts. Well, you don't necessarily end up encountering them. You just have to pass by them at some point. And they're most likely in your travels. I think I'll stick around here. Well, guess I'm heading to the hills. Might end up dying. You know, I might end up regretting that decision. Or I could gain some fate and move to my starting space. And end up healing one life instead. So I think I might just make my way to a zone of relative safety in the form of either the highland. In fact, actually, anywhere other than the outer region and the woodlands is pretty safe. Like, as far as this current omen goes. So, like, it's interesting that the city is still around as a board, despite, you know, the whole collapse of civilization and everything that happened. But, you know, that's just the way the mechanics work. Sure, I'll send the werewolf after somebody else. Well, that's even better. I'm now at my full 5 of life. The part that is being targeted as random. There's not many ways it's gonna negatively affect her. Because she can't lose any more craft than she already has. Because she's currently sitting at her craft value. Yeah, everybody who... the deserts especially are gonna be deadly right now. Because you lose one for landing on them if you don't have, you know, something to specifically prevent that. And then you lose another one for the omen at the end of your turn. I don't believe anybody has a talisman right now. Wait, nope. Nobody has any talismans, so if I can just get to the Crown of Command by some means, then I can just win by default by getting to the Crown of Command. So I think once it gets to my next turn, since I just missed the turn, I'm gonna try and head into the dungeon, since it's a relative safe zone, and it's got a route to the Crown of Command. And in the whole beating the Lord of Darkness, well, it looks like the rogue has a similar idea, at the very least in the whole you know, this place has no terrain cards in it. It's in some ways safer than pretty much the rest of the outside world. Well, other than, you know, the Highlands, which is also untouched because hardly anybody's gone there this game. Of course, you know, there's a very real possibility that I could push just one step closer to the end of the world if I happen to draw any cards along the way into the dungeon. Staying off with a wormling. I mean, he's only got two strength, so not that surprising. Oh, and here's the sacrificial stone. Oh, I guess. Yeah, because it specifies adventure card rather than just draw a card. Right. And have managed to make it into the relative safety of the dungeon. And immediately I'm being attacked by a Death Knight. Although, could roll one, but he didn't. Hey, I mean, all it did was cause me to lose the extra life that I have from having a higher life value. Notice that the AI seems to be leaning a bit towards encountering scales. Alright, I'll dice battle the Grim Reaper. Or maybe I'll just gain one strength. That also works. Yeah, reroll my 6 into another 6. Just gonna heal. The rogue has ventured back out into the outer region, mostly to murder a grave robber. Warlock's just using a wand of terror on everything he can find. I think he just died. Yep. There goes the Warlock. I mean, we're not to the true end game yet, so AI players still get new characters. Heroes on the next turn after they die. Okay. Again, it might actually be beneficial to get, depending on what the 7th omen is, it might be beneficial to just get the 6th omen over with. But then again, I don't know what this last omen is gonna be. Plus, you know, getting to the last omen means being one sign away from maybe from the end. Gonna venture into the dungeon. Got a chest. You may roll one die to open the chest. If the result is less than or equal to your craft, gain 3 gold. If the result is higher than your craft, you're jabbed by a poison needle. You'll lose 1 life. I think I'm just gonna leave that there. I don't really have the craft to make that all that useful to me. Can just move the Reaper out of here. You know what? I'll let the werewolf encounter me. Reroll. It becomes 5. Sure, I'll send them after the rogue. Then loses 1 life. Just gotta hope that I don't draw an event card anytime when I'm in here. Because then I'll be more or less stuck in here with the Harbinger until somebody else draws an event card. Because I have no plans of venturing back out of this dungeon, unless it's to go direct to the Crown Command and win the game. Well, that ability didn't help any. The rogue is down to 1 life. Fortunately for her, she's not on a terrain card. And so she, survived past her last turn. Just gotta hope that I don't draw any event cards in here. Because again, I really don't want to be stuck in here with the Harbinger for a few turns. Because that means drawing from the Harbinger deck, which means possibly drawing signs. Oh boy! There's now a bunch of dragons out there too. Well, dragons plus some dragon stuff. Because, you know, not every card in the Varthrax deck is a dragon. Aw. Oh no, he's here. Please, somebody draw an event card before my next turn. Although again, okay, good. He's in the Highlands now. So at least it's not me that's gonna be ending the world. Well, potentially. Although again, if depending on what this last omen is, you know, though things might be a lot better. There once as this current omen is discarded. And since, if nothing else, it won't be if a character ends a space, so turn on a space with a terrain card, they lose life anymore. For all I know, it could be, if you end your turn on the space with a terrain card, you die, or something. Like, probably not that, because that has potential to make he could make the game completely unplayable if a lot of terrain cards have ended up on the board. But, you know, we're going into the, I went into this largely blind. At least to the specific cards, like I know the broad mechanics. The dwarf has opted to leave the safety of the Highlands rather than draw a Harbinger card, which can't really blame him, given, you know, how close those we are to just complete destruction. Hey, again, you know, makes Cataclysm make more sense if the finale of Back to Basics series ended on a cataclysmic note of, you know, the world literally just like fracturing apart. Oh, now one of the dragons is sleeping. Hey, somebody drew an event card, so I'm free of the Harbinger. Just gonna head into this tunnel and encounter a Vassal of Darkness. There's a craft of 6. Yeah, the only way that could be a standoff at this point is if he'd roll 1. And of course he didn't. But hey, again, not an event card. And the Ogre Chieftain also voids the Harbinger only for the Harbinger to effectively follow him. Oh. Oh no, so... Did the Chivalric Knight just put a bunch of... Please don't tell me the Chivalric Knight, they just put a bunch of Harbinger cards on top of the dungeon deck. Move the Harbingers back to the near the Highlands. Here's hoping that he didn't... Oh, but wait. I'm just heading to the kitchen to get a whole turn of eating some nice food. And just gotta... You know, if I did in fact loot, but, you know, there are in fact Harbinger cards on top of the on top of the dungeon deck, then it's not great. So I'm gonna be encountering a few of those. Oh, and hey, now the Harbinger's gonna be in the city, and on top of that, the festival is going on, which means that the rogue can only move one space per turn, as it's the case for anybody in the city. Every space in the city causes to draw a card. Actually, the next space up in one direction is potentially the rogue isn't gonna be drawing any cards, because I think she either goes, well, maybe, because I mean, depends, is that woods or is that at a forest? Because if it's a forest, then she'll just encounter it and then die. If it's woods, then she'll draw a card and then die at the end of her turn. Which right, my turn again. This looks like it's probably time to find out if I was right and there are dungeon cards, there are Harbinger cards. Yep. Yep, there are in fact Harbinger cards on top of the dungeon deck. Well, there's a 33% chance that this next roll will move us to one step away from the end. Yep. Shards of the Old World. Replace the text of each space not in the inner region or containing a terrain card with lose one life, then draw one card. Do not draw a card if there's already one on this space. I made it worse. In fact, replace the text of each space not in the inner region or containing a terrain card. So actually, I need to run out of the dungeon now. Like, I need to get out of the dungeon ASAP. Because now when for one thing, there's a very real chance that when I draw a card next, the game just ends. So it might not even matter. Because, like... Ooh, but wait. Here's the Ogre Chieftain is now in the inner region. So, like, if it comes to, like, it ultimately comes down to whether or not there's time. Because of the... But wait, the Ogre Chieftain doesn't have a talisman, so... he's probably just gonna die. Unless he wants to wander around the inner region for the rest of his life. In fact, actually, he's probably just gonna get spat back out by one of one of the two spaces is near him. Because he would have to roll low enough. He would have to... you pretty much have to go the strength route and roll less than a 6 on a total of like 3 dice. So it's probably not getting very far. Meanwhile, there's a good chance that the next card I draw will just end the game. Just straight up. Because we're at the last omen. So hey, looks like there won't be a part 2 of this after all. Jay leaves next Tuesday, and all further Tuesdays until I decide till I get around to doing the next series. Yeah, actually, it's useless to be in here. Oh. The Beast. Strength Craft 18. The Beast of the Apocalypse has arisen. A character cannot enter the Crown of Command unless I pay to life. It will remain here until killed. Well, guess I'm dying on my next turn. And there I thought the next card I drew would just end the world. No. Instead, it just makes it that much harder for anyone to even attempt to win. Like that, like we are pretty much to the point of just waiting for the end. Because like the world has already become so inhospitable that it's unlikely anybody will be able to do a successful quest for the Crown of Command at this point. After all, I mean, the Lord of Darkness is gone now. The dungeon has just become the lair of the Beast of the Apocalypse. It was like... it has just become a impenetrable gauntlet of just death. Like the best chance you have is to get in and get out fast. And in order to really be able to make that useful, you have to have enough strength or craft to defeat something with an 18 in both. Almost every card you land on, or every space you land on, other than the space with the beast on it, pretty much, deals 1 damage to you when you draw one, and forces you to draw 1 card. Because everything that doesn't have a terrain card on it does that. Well, everything without a terrain card that isn't in the inner region. Hence why the poor Grey Oak, the ancient oak here, is gonna die this turn, regardless of what I end up drawing. Like, actually, I die before I even draw a card. So I'm pretty sure there's still like 1 more Harbinger card on top of that dungeon deck. But now it's basically, but now it's reversed. Because before you wanted to be everywhere except where there's a lot of terrain cards. Now you want to stay on the terrain cards because that's the best chance of survival. Well, the rogue is dead. Not at all a surprise, but where's the Harbinger right now? Can you at least people can encounter dragon scales without risk of, you know, giving the world that last nudge to the edge past the edge of destruction. The Harbinger is at the Portal of Power, or more accurately a shard of the old world. Well, the Shattered World Space. Because everywhere is a Shattered World Space now. Except for the inner region and the terrain cards. Even on the terrain cards is a lot of strong enemies. And pretty much nobody can really do much to beat them at this point. Well, there goes the sprite. Right, you've got the Totem Warrior, the Spy, and the Dervish. I'll go with the Dervish. Because I can potentially chain enemies once I find something weak enough. Got a choice between crags and forests. We'll go for the forests. Probably actually would have been better to go for the crags, so we could gain some strength from a 6. I mean, hey, it ended up getting a 6 anyway. Well, there goes the Ogre Chieftain. Why he didn't just go for this spot right over here where he would have been relatively safe, I don't know. And despite all of this, the AI players still find time to fight each other. You know, keeps them from drawing any signs. Well, I don't even know if there are any signs left in the Harbinger deck. But there's probably still other cards that can cause the current Omen card to be discarded. I think the dwarf just died. Or maybe not. Maybe he just saved himself. Ultimately, any one of these spaces that has any space that has a dragon scale on it is relatively safe. At least as long as it has a dragon scale. Because even if it doesn't have a terrain card and it's on the inner region, if you encounter the scale, then you don't lose the life automatically. Well, you can still definitely lose a lot of life by, you know, running into a multitude of dragons constantly. It's also not going to be possible to gain a destiny anymore, other than through there's like that one space where you can spend 5 any fate of any one type to gain a destiny. Just gotta head over to the plains. I hope that I don't draw something that... Oh! Oh boy! I just triggered the end of the world. Rivers and springs shall grow foul and bitter, making sick all who drink from them. Each character loses one life. Then discard the top omen from then along with this card. So the Harbinger arrives on my space. The dwarf dies from the sickly rivers. And then everybody dies from the apocalypse happening. Well, technically it's not the apocalypse, that's a different set of omens. But all characters did lose. Well, that's gonna do it both for tonight's stream and for the Back to Basics series. I do have some plans for another series later with the digital expansions and the Cataclysm, sort of a soft reset, but I want to at least get to the point of being sure I can continue doing streams on Tuesday nights before I start any ongoing thing. Plus, I just kind of want a break from streaming Talisman every week. So let me just see. So thank you all for watching. Next stream will be Thursday with the Age of Wonders, and I don't know what that I'm going to be streaming next Tuesday. Maybe like AI Dungeon or something. I'm gonna find somebody to maybe host. Doubt any of my followers are alive. Maybe I'll check that. Oh, there's actually somebody live with Talisman other than me. Surprise, surprise. So thank you all. So once again, thank you all for watching. Age of Wonders here's Thursday, and CK2 Saturday. Then I'll figure out something for next Tuesday, maybe before her gets here.